Some shuffling could be coming to the New York Jets offensive line in 2025. An insider shared the details. Plus, the Jets have made more free agency moves. Not sure I would use the word splash, but we'll talk about it nonetheless. Boy Green Daily starts right now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Let's start off with this. A big shout out to my fiance. She had me fitted up. A special gift, brand new Garrett Wilson jersey. Okay. Brand new Jets hat. Okay. Salute to my fiance, my beautiful fiance, Tatiana Gosh darn Davis, baby. So, yes. She got me fitted up real nice like an early Easter gift, birthday gift. I'm not sure which, but either way, hey now. Garrett Wilson, G-Dub. Finally got the updated jersey number. Garrett, can we stop changing jersey numbers? And Jets, can we stop changing jerseys? Both of those requests, please. Anywho, there's a lot to get into on the show, including the offensive line changes. But before we get any further, I want to give a big shout out to James Woody, who hosted Boy Green Meets Woody yesterday. I had some things to take care of with my kids, so appreciate James Woody. I miss Green Bean, my dad, joining us on the show. So salute to Green Bean. He's the best in the business. I love Green Bean. Hope you guys enjoyed that show yesterday. Well, I wasn't on yesterday, so I saw there was some gifting of memberships, and I wanted to make sure that we gave some love to the people that gifted memberships yesterday with a shout-out and, of course, the prerequisite raffle tickets that go along there. Shout-out to J-Boy. He gifted a membership yesterday that went to Truman Dumel. All right. Shout out to you, Truman. Congratulations on a membership. And again, J-Boy getting a raffle ticket to our contest at the end of the month, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And also, I saw that our number one Austrian Jet fan got in the gifting mood as well with 10 gifted memberships. And those 10 gifted memberships went to Sharif Inami, That Poke Dude, SK Records, Stephen Hendel, Eric Bianchi, Savasito, Scott Foster 23, Gilbert Fama. You guys are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. So again, salute to our number one Austrian Jet fan. Also salute to J-Boy for those gifted memberships. Like I said, I wanted to make sure we did not forget you guys. We really, really appreciate all the support here on the channel. So thank you so much. Appreciate that. That is now 65 raffle tickets for our boy number one Austrian Jet fan, baby, which we appreciate. Let's show that up on the big board. And also, our boy J-Boy has 6 raffle tickets so far this month. So shout out to both. Like I said, I want to make sure I got to that right at the beginning of the show. And hey now, J-Boy says, hey, I've got more love to give. That's a 10-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, baby. Oh, yeah, J-Boy, here we bleep and go. This show's off to a great start. Boom shakalaka. J-Boy with another 10-pack of memberships here. He now has 16 raffle tickets so far this month. I love it. You guys are all eligible. No limit on raffle tickets, baby, as those are coming through. You're just outside the top 5, as I see here with Devin. DNY for Life has had 17, so you're just outside the top 5, J-Boy. But I appreciate you. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's read those 10 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. And we'll get into our topic here of some offensive line Jets musical chairs. Whether that's a good idea or a bad idea, I guess we can talk about that on the show as well, because there's been a lot of whispers and rumors about all of that. So we'll see if that is indeed the correct decision. Okay, J-Boy here. These 10 memberships went to Jet Life, M.M. Morris, Jorge Galvez, Mr. Business, Jets Johnny, L.A., Kevin Tattoos. YouTube screen jumped here. Let me make sure I get everybody. Kevin Tattoos, he was there. Who else am I missing here? Alex Jets Runny Chance. You guys were all gifted Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, baby. Okay. Thank you, Jay Boy. Appreciate you, pal. So let's get right into it. And appreciate that, Jay. Let's get this party rolling. Let's start off with some footage. All right. On the Flight Plan podcast, Tim McMaster, Zach Rosenblatt, they discussed the addition of Josh Myers, and he had been the longtime starting center of the Green Bay Packers. He's been their full-time starting center for the last 3 years. And the Jets have just signed him. Now, if you look on the surface, a one-year deal for $3.5 million, that sounds like backup money. That ranks outside the top 15 highest-paid centers in football. So you're like, well, all right, is he a backup? Or maybe when you think of the Jets sign this center that's been starting for the last 3 years, did he just give up heading into year 5 and say, yeah, I'm good with being a backup now? Is it the connection with Justin Fields? That's his former starting center at Ohio State. Is he switching positions? Is someone else switching positions? There's been a lot of questions after the Jets signed Green Bay Packers center Josh Myers. And, of course, I also have some more info on Chukwuma Okorafor. He was signed, a former New England Patriot, for 5 seconds. And I have more details. I reached out to my Patriots people, so don't forget. We'll talk about that, too, before the end of the show. Got some more details on that very bizarre situation last year. But first, let's talk about the potential offensive line shuffling that could be coming to One Jets Drive. This footage exclusively from the Flight Plan, a Badlands podcast product.
And then Myers is the guy that, I mean, when you talk about playing experience, like 50 starts in the NFL is no joke.
Yeah, 50 starts over the last 3 years. He was the Packers starting center. He was up and down. I asked our Packers writer Matt Schneidman about him. He said he's like fine. He's like solid, good locker room guy. I think that he has historically been a pretty good pass blocker. He had a bad year last year. I think PFF had him like 30th of 32 guys overall. He gave up the second most pressures out of all centers, like 29. But 2 years ago, he was in like the top 10 of all interior linemen and pass block win rate. And I think they paid him in a way that would make you think he's a backup, $3.5 million for 1 year. But he's been a starter historically. So until they make a move to like get a right tackle, like you have to at least consider the possibility they're looking at like a reshuffle of the offensive line, which would you plug him in at center. You put Joe Tippmann at right guard, which he played a little bit as a rookie. You put AVT at right tackle, which he's played a little bit over the last couple of years. It's not ideal, in my opinion, because I think AVT's best at right guard. But if you're trying to get the best 5 out there, that as of right this second, I think that's your best 5. But I don't think they're done adding to the offensive line. So I'm not ready to say that's what it's going to look like or anything like that. But I think ultimately, like, remove, like, okay, we don't know who the starter right tackle is. I think this is their best offensive line group they've had in a minute. You have 4 out of 5 starters. We talked about it a lot. Olu Fashanu, John Simpson, Joe Tippmann, AVT. Those are 4 out of 5 solid guys. Maybe none of them are stars. Maybe Fashanu could become one. But 4 solid offensive linemen. Josh Myers, good depth. Chukwuma Okorafor, good depth. And I think Carter Warren and Max Mitchell can be good depth too. So you add another piece or two on the offensive line, and I feel pretty good about that group. Like I think it's going to be a good line around Fields. I'm a little more concerned about the tight end position. They need some upgrades there, both in terms of pass catchers and blockers. But I feel pretty good about where their offensive line is at right now. All of these guys are under 30 years old too, which is good because they can all grow together.
So here's the situation. Here's the situation. Personally, my opinion, I'm not so hot on the offensive line shuffling. A booga wooga wooga. Shuffle. No. I don't want to shuffle the deck. Personally, if we've got, okay, Olu Fashanu, left tackle, okay. We've got John Simpson, left guard. Let's keep Joe Tippmann at center. I get it, folks. In his rookie season, he started his Jets and NFL career as a guard. That is correct. That is factual information. Joe Tippmann does have that ability. He did indeed start off at guard. 199 snaps, as a matter of fact, before eventually taking over at center. Remember, we had Connor McGovern. So he does have experience at guard. ABT obviously has experience at right tackle, 333 total snaps in the league. That's what Connor Rogers said back in October of 2022. We also have a full article in the YouTube description down below. ABT played all 56 snaps at right tackle today. 0 sacks allowed, 0 quarterback hits surrendered, 0 hurries. He's simply great wherever he has to play. Connor Rogers said back in October of 2022, coming off a ABT right tackle appearance. So Twyman can play guard. ABT can play tackle. And that's nice that they have that versatility, but that is a blessing and a curse. That's what Saleh said about old George Fant. Do you remember George Fant? He's a free agent. And his ability to play all these different positions was this thing for the team to take advantage of. ABT's coming off a healthy year. Now, maybe it's just Juju. I don't know. I don't want to move him. He's finally healthy. Let's keep him right there. We need a right guard. Park and play, baby. Boop. Joe Twyman is developing and he's gaining some traction. To suddenly shift him to another position just because he can play, it seems crazy. Let's just get a really good right tackle. Here's what I think. Here's some draft stuff here. With the 7th overall pick, there are 3, based on the free agency moves I've seen so far, there are 3 players I'd be thrilled with if I'm the New York Jets with the 7th overall pick in no particular order. Armand Membu, offensive tackle, Missouri. Right tackle, draft him, plug and play. Number 2, again, no in particular order, I'm just listing them. Number 2, players in the draft that I would be happy with the 7th overall pick right now. Armand Membu, Missouri offensive tackle. Tyler Warren, Penn State tight end. And then finally, Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan. Now, there's no guarantee all these players are going to be on the board, but one of them should be. One of them should be when the Jets are on the clock. And that is who the Jets should pick. If multiple guys are on there, we'll have a hefty conversation about it, I'm sure. But that's it for me. Those 3. Armand Membu, offensive tackle. Tyler Warren, Penn State tight end. Mason Graham, Michigan defensive tackle. One of those 3 we're walking away with 7th overall pick. I'm feeling pretty good. Just want to put that aside. Boop, park it. To me, on this offensive line shuffling, I want to keep everybody where they are, and let's get another offensive tackle. Taylor Sterling says, I forgot Nick Eman-Wari. Not at 7 for me. That's a little rich. That's a little rich. But I also, so again, offensive line shuffling, what it would be in theory if Josh Myers is to come in and bounce around a little, is that, again, you'd have Olu Fashanu at left tackle. You have John Simpson at left guard. You have Josh Myers, the former Green Bay Packers starting center. You'd plug him in. And then everyone to the right. Joe Twyman, right guard. ABT, right tackle. That's how it would look in theory. The rumors, insiders saying, oh, it could be possible. Could be seeing some shuffling. Again, my opinion, I would not like to see any shuffling. Absolutely not. ABT is healthy. Let's keep him where he is. Joe Twyman's developing. Let's keep him where he is. Josh Myers, the contract says depth. And hey, I mean, incredible depth. If Josh Myers signed and he's like, hey, man, I'm just a backup center. The Jets getting the Green Bay Packers starting center over the last 3 years, and obviously the Green Bay Packers have had a lot of success. He's been a solid guy. He's coming off a bad year. A lot of these free agents the Jets have signed are coming off bad years, which could contribute to the price. But if he's our backup center, this is a huge upgrade over Wes Schweitzer, which I feel pretty good about. But yeah, in terms of the shuffling, I'd avoid it. I want to give you guys some nuggets. So every time the Jets have signed a player, Chukwuma Okorafor, Josh Myers, if I've got connections with the team in some sense, people who cover the team, people around this player, anything of that nature, I immediately text them and say, hey, when you get a second, give me the deets. What's going on with this player? Or if I have a specific question, I will ask. And so in those videos, we are obviously live every day at 7:30 in the morning, but we've been doing these shorter form videos where I'm just emptying the notebook, so to speak, on everything I've heard about the player as soon as possible. I'm trying to get these videos up ASAP on these players so you guys can get it. And I reached out to my New England Patriots people. So Chukwuma Okorafor is how you pronounce it. Chukwuma Okorafor. Okay. Let me make sure I get his stuff up here for the New York Jets. I believe I have not written that piece yet, so we'll just have to go off my notes here of Chukwuma Okorafor coming down here for the New York Jets. He has been a starting right tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a hot second. He's Nigerian. That's the origin of his family and name here. Okay. He's 27 years old. He's 6'6", 320 pounds. Great size, youth, age. That's nice. And he was a starting tackle for the Steelers for a bunch of years, 2018 to 2023. Ton of experience. Then he was on the Patriots last year, and then he was here with the Jets. And now he's here with the Jets, excuse me. This is an interesting dart throw for the New York Jets. Now, when you look at the statistical shish kebab here for Chukwuma Okorafor, excuse me, he's appeared in 78 games. He's made 60 starts. So let me read the text I got on Chukwuma Okorafor. Let me get this in here. 1 second. I should have probably had this ready, but that's all right. And the note I got is, what the heck? Why did he only play one game last year? Okay. And I have this in my notes too. Okay, so first off, before I read the text, which I do have up, here are the snaps for Chukwuma Okorafor in his entire career. Okay. So he's exclusively played right tackle. Exclusively. In his career, he has 3,830 snaps at right tackle. He had played 86 snaps in 2018, 73 snaps in 2019, played over 1,000 in 2020, over 1,000 in 2021, over 1,100 in 2022, played in 425 in 2023. And here's the thing that's interesting and apparently caused some of the beef from what I hear in New England land. We'll hear from him himself, Chukwuma, when he has his media availability. All these Jet free agents will. I asked my Patriot source, what's the skinny on Chukwuma? He said this: the Patriots tried to make him play left tackle, and he clearly wasn't happy about it. And this player told this source that I have that he didn't want to make excuses for poor play, but that the switch played a factor. Again, this is a guy that's exclusively played right tackle. We talk about this all the time. There's certain people that are outliers. Okay. Joe Alt, great example. He was a Notre Dame left tackle forever. Awesome player. The Chargers draft him fifth overall and say, hey, buddy, you're learning right tackle. And he seemingly has made an easy transition to right tackle. But not everyone can. It's wiping your ass with the other hand. Hey, if you want to say, how... Yeah, for all the people in the audience going, oh, Chukwuma, he could be our swing tackle, he could play left tackle. How about this? For giggles, when you're in the bathroom later, try to wipe with the other hand. Report back. Let me know how that goes for you. It's incredibly difficult. Some people can do it. Some people can't. So again, I don't need any pictures or videos on that, by the way, but just come back and tell us how it went. Geez, Paul, that was difficult. Oh, no shit. Was it? Oh, okay. Then, yes. Come on. So some people, it's not a good thing. So anywho, the thing I'm interested with, my source did not get back to me on this question. So it does not look good, the quit on the team thing. There was all kinds of little notes I had in the original Chukwuma Okorafor video that he left the team to ponder his future, and some people accuse him of quitting and all these other things. That's not what my source did, but that's what other people were saying about the potential of quitting or something happening there and him leaving the team or them benching him. There's a lot unknown. Here's the thing that I want to know that completely changes my perception. When the Patriots signed Chukwuma Okorafor, did they tell him he was playing left tackle or did they tell him he was playing right tackle? Here's what I mean. If they told Chukwuma that, hey, we're signing you to play left tackle, and he accepted the contract, and then we were going through the process, and he's like, oh, boy, this was a mistake. And then the Patriots like, it's too late. You already agreed. Then it is what it is. I would have one perception of how this all worked out. Now, if Chukwuma was signed as a right tackle, and then the Patriots go through camp, they're like, oh, boy, we need a left tackle. Hey, Chukwuma, get your ass over there. And he's like, whoa. This isn't what I signed up for. I have some empathy for Chukwuma. I'm like, what the hell? I signed to play right tackle. Now you're playing me out of the left tackle. You're playing me out of position. And if I look bad, that looks like it's bad on me. But you guys are the one that are asking me to play something I've never played before. That's where I think we get a little interesting here. So I did not get that answer from my source. But I will tell you that apparently he was unhappy about the left tackle thing. and he didn't want to make excuses for poor play, but the switching of positions played a factor. And you know what? That's a legitimate excuse for why that didn't work out. So we don't have all the details there as far as that's concerned. Pat's being a mess last year as well, of course. So he only appeared in 12 snaps last year, but they were non-injury related. So he appeared in that first game, and they got yanked. And then apparently there were some conversations. I don't know if it was, Matt Judon. Remember, he had all the issues with the New England Patriots last year too. But this is a guy that's incredibly talented. Again, he's 27, but not even he is literally 27 if you look at his birth certificate. But he's not 27. Like last year, he didn't play, and it's not because of injury. So he just kind of stewed. So he has a little bit more tread on the tires than you would think on top of that. And again, he's 27. So I'm kind of interested where he factors in. Does he end up just being a veteran depth? He's clearly an upgrade over Carter Warren and Max Mitchell. He's got a lot more experience, which I like. Is he factoring into the right tackle competition? If we have none of this offensive line shuffling business, does he compete with, as it currently stands, a Carter Warren, a Max Mitchell, and maybe a draft pick again? Armand Membu could be a possibility. He might not even be there at 7. The Patriots could just take him at 4, to be honest with you. That's what I'm sort of curious about. So there's the scoop I've had on Chukwuma. I wanted to make sure I got to that as a possibility here. So he's talented. Let's see what happens. And let's go through a couple of these free agent signings. I'll also answer your question. So Reese has a question here. Let me get a couple of questions up here. All right, Reese, let me throw this up on the board. Boy Green, would you sign Matthew Judon? Yeah, we need a veteran pass rusher now. The Jets don't seem to be swimming in the waters currently of signing a proven name for decent money. For instance, I believe, I don't know who's the person who signed this, so let me not speak out of turn because this is easily look upable. Where did he just sign? Okay, yeah, so he did go to the Patriots. So, for instance, Kayvon Chason, okay? He's a fine player. He's 25. He's a former first-round pick. He's, former first-round pick, top 20 pick, former first-rounder. So the Patriots are taking a chance on him. They signed him to a 1-year deal for $5 million. That's not no-nothing money, but that's decent. It's not record-breaking, but they're paying for the name and some of the juice. The Jets so far have not, and we'll go through some of the names the Jets have signed in the last 24 hours, and I'll explain. So, going back to your question, Reese, would I? Yes, sure. I would sign Matthew Judon. Seems like he has some juice in the tank. He seems like an interesting leader and an infectious energy guy, and I think that'd be nice. And obviously, we need pass rushers. I'd go for a younger guy if Azeez Ojulari is out there. I was running around my kids yesterday, so I'm not sure if that news has changed. But Azeez is 25. He's who I would sign. But I would be open to Matthew Judon. But the Jets don't seem like they're open to that sort of signing because he ain't signing for the veteran minimum. Matt Judon is going to look for some shekels. Now, not groundbreaking shekels, but he's going to be looking for some shekels. Apparently, Tim Patrick's off the board, Taylor Sterling. Let me see if I could get this real quick from Zach Rosenblatt. So everyone is basically penciled in Tim Patrick, who is the current Detroit Lions wide receiver, former Denver Broncos wide receiver. A lot of people just penciled in that Tim Patrick is going to be like the next wide receiver of the Jets. And if he is, he's like a wide receiver 4 or 5. Who cares? But let me throw this up on the board. This was on Tim Patrick's Instagram, I believe. We'll see it here from Zach Rosenblatt. This was Tim Patrick on Instagram. On his Instagram story, he posted a picture of a shirt or jacket or something that says, I only want to work with the Lions. And a lot of people have taken that to interpret like any other team that's interested, back off. So, yeah, that's here Tim Patrick here. I only want to work with the Lions. So it seems like the Tim Patrick story is dead. Now, it's not devastating news. He would have been wide receiver 4 or 5, would have been a leader and all those things, but he's just mid. So, but I wanted to give that update. A lot of people asked me about Tim Patrick. He's just a guy. He's just a guy. But it doesn't seem like that's happening anymore, which is interesting because everyone had sort of saw it as a foregone conclusion that he was coming up. Shout out to A-Step 10. I see you just joined us in here. Very nice. So, yeah, Tim Patrick apparently is not happening. All right. Let me get to some of the signings. Again, we did all videos on this. If you guys want to rapid fire go through those on your own time after the live show. every time the Jets sign somebody or re-sign somebody or anything, I'm doing like a quick 2, 3, 4, 5-minute video on it. Almost as soon as the signing happens, I do some research first of reaching out to people that I can, or statistics or analytics or what people are saying, anything of that nature. I try to give you guys some insight there. So we have something on all these guys I'm going to talk about, but let's go through the rigmarole here for all these different free agents. All right, we already talked about Justin Fields. Salute to Justin Fields. Jamie Sherwood, okay. Stone Smart, former LA Chargers tight end. He was a non-tendered restricted free agent. An interesting cat, Stone Smart. He played quarterback in college, and then at the end of his career, when he was at Old Dominion, converted from quarterback to wide receiver. Then he's been at the NFL level. He transitioned to tight end. He hasn't done a whole heck of a lot in the National Football League. He has intriguing measurables. He's 6'4", 226 pounds. The arrow's pointing up, but it's not going to be a wow signing at tight end. It's a dart throw. Does it work out? Does it not? I suppose that'll be on the Jets coaching staff. But Stone Smart, the Jets popped the tight end cherry this offseason, and they got Stone Smart. Young guy, interesting. But to me, what it really screams is, we want Warren. That's just me. But Smart is upside, so sort of interesting. Let's go to another one. Byron Cowart. A former Chicago Bears defensive lineman. To be honest, he's bounced around the league. Former draft choice of the New England Patriots. Interesting guy. He used to be the number 1 overall recruit coming out of high school. So obviously the talent's there, but the story with Byron is that he never lived up to the hype. He was a 5-star recruit, number 1 overall recruit. I believe that was in 2015. And when he got to the college level, he never delivered on the hype and had to leave a big-time program at Auburn. Again, he was the number 1 overall recruit and ended up at, I believe it was Maryland. And Byron Cowart, again, the story of his life in the professional football world is he has not lived up to the hype. Now, he's coming off a career season. I use that in quotes, 2.5 sacks last year. Again, we got a defensive tackle. Okay, that's what we needed, but Byron Cowart, sort of mid. So there's been a lot of mid. So long story short, what it's going to be is roster, compete, right? These are 90-man roster guys. Are they 53-man roster guys? TBD. But it'll be on the Jets coaching staff. They're getting all of the guys that I'm about to mention are in the same profile. They're guys in their mid-something 20s, limited production, upside with age, obviously, and some size or measurables or traits of some kind. So Byron Cowart, they added him. They added another defensive tackle, Jalyn Twyman. He goes by J Tufele. He is Samoan. So again, one's up. Likely member of the WWE bloodline, perhaps. Head of the table. Tribal chief, perhaps. My wrestling fans in the audience, that's for you. To be honest, he is less than mid. He has been absolutely awful at the NFL level by basically every measurable statistic. He was 120th in run defense last year. He was drafted by the Jaguars as a 4th-round pick. Then he was cut immediately after 1 year. Went to the Bengals and has been depth on the defensive line. He can't rush the passer. I believe his half a sack came this past season. That's the most sacks that he has. So he can't defend the run, and he can't pass rush. Again, the lettuce is great. I talked about this on the show. Lettuce game, very nice. Here it is. I'll throw him up on the screen. This is J Tufele. Nice head of lettuce. You got the Samoan thing going on. That can't hurt. But in terms of the actual play on the field, sort of questionable. I'm going to be honest. So again, this is on the Jets coaching staff. I really like the defensive coaching staff in particular. Can they get something out of these dart throws they're taking with these mid-level guys? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to lay it to you straight. If there's someone I think that has upside, I'll let you know. And an intrigue. And, hey, this is someone to watch. And if I don't, I won't. Now, I'm not the end-all, be-all. Sometimes you can be wrong. Sometimes J Tufele could be a good player. I don't know. But based on what we've seen so far, the PFF analytics are terrible. Just god-awful. Disgustingly bad. In every measurable way. But maybe, obviously, the Jets see something I don't. And that's fine because they're the ones getting paid millions, and I'm just some guy dressed up in a Garrett Wilson jersey and a brand new Jets hat. Again, shout out to my fiance, and just doing this from home. So take that for what you will. Okay, let's get some comments in here. I think that's everybody. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh yeah, Jamin. I didn't do this video yet, so I'll have to work this one in. Jamin Davis, the former first-round draft choice of Washington. The Jets took a chance on him last year. I can't remember if that was waivers or just straight up just grabbed him off of free agency. That's a Phil Savage special, so shout out to Phil Savage. He was the one that picked up Jamin Davis when he was the interim GM, and then the Jets just brought him back on a one-year deal. Again, he's young, has physical traits, obviously all the talent that made him a first-round pick, 26 years of age. So, again, all that same profile. And I think that's everybody. So, if there's anyone I missed, please let me know, everybody. And yes, the defensive tackles are all sort of the same size, 6'2", 6'3", 300 pounds. All the defensive tackles fit sort of the same profile. All right, let's go to Brian Edwards here. And every time we get a super chat or shout out of any kind, we hear from my beautiful daughter, Zariah Luna. Wow. Brian's been a member for 4 months, the Boy Green Coffee Club. You guys can become a member in the YouTube description down below. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club here. It's in the description of every video. It's only $2.99 a month. Helps you support the show. Be loyal to the show, which we appreciate. You get access to all of our custom emojis made by Snowball, a.k.a. Jets Worldwide. Wide. Check them out on YouTube, which is awesome. And you have access to our Discord channel where we talk Jets all the time, well beyond the show. Do you think we should draft an offensive tackle? Brian Edwards asked. Yes. I think we should draft a guy, specifically right tackle. Armand Membu would certainly make sense. Maybe he could go a little bit deeper in the draft. We could talk about some of those day 2, day 3 options with Dom C on Monday. But yes, I definitely like a right tackle. And then allow him and Chukwuma Okorafor to battle it out. That's fine with me. I prefer that than the offensive line shuffling. And Olu's great. I think we got a franchise tackle there, but you can never have enough depth. I wouldn't mind a left tackle developing as well behind him. And just you have depth just in case. Because obviously, remember, he's coming off the foot injury. Now, it seems like he's going to be A-okay with everything, but let's just keep that in mind. So, yes, I would 1,000% draft an offensive tackle at both spots. You only have so many picks, so you got to be a little selective. But definitely at right tackle, that is for sure. Yeah. Let's go. Aced up 10, baby. Another super chat coming through. Hey now. Wow. All right, let's update the big board for you, Aced up 10. You've been kicking ass so far this month, so okay. And with your prior contributions, that is 2 more raffle tickets, my friend. You are now at 95 raffle tickets so far this month, buddy, which we appreciate. Thank you. And let's update the leaderboard here. All right, 95. You were in first place over our number 1 Austrian Jet fan, 30 plus up on him. So you've been kicking some Patuki. Let's get to your super chat, Aced up 10, and thank you so much. Feel we definitely have to get wide receiver 2 out of free agency and draft the rest. What do you think, BG? Man, they have absolutely nada. Again, besides this, which again, shout out to my fiance, besides the Garrett Wilson, brand new Garrett Wilson jersey I'm wearing, number 5, number 1 into your hearts, wide receiver 1, hashtag pay the man. # pay the man, please. New York Jets. Listen, Navi, Zelda, listen. Pay the man, please. Anywho, so you got him. You got Malachi Corley, total unknown. What is he going to be? None of us know. Xavier Gibson, I don't even know if he's going to be on the roster, to be honest. And Alan Lazard has still not been cut yet. Nick Ferry talked about it. Philium mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, and then Nick Ferry mentioned it on Wednesday. The Jets might end up keeping Alan Lazard. So that's not great. Alan Lazard led the National Football League in drop percentage last year. That's a real stat. Led the National Football League. But the problem for the Jets might be is like, hey, all these wide receivers are getting paid buco bucks. Think about it. Darius Slayton got 3 years, $36 million, $12 million per. Like, do they go, we don't love Alan Lazard, but there's not a great replacement option. I guess we'll keep him. That's a chance. Because if not, why wouldn't they have cut him already? Odd. So there's a chance Alan Lazard stays, which not great for me. Because Alan Lazard, when he did not have Aaron Rodgers, he was a malcontent in the locker room. He had just a piss-poor attitude. he sort of gave up on the team, and then he was a healthy scratch at the end of the year, and he was goofing around. I don't know, man. Bad vibes there. Locker room's a precious place. Send Alan Lazard wherever Aaron Rodgers goes, because he's still figuring that out. Vikings, where else? Giants, Steelers. How about wherever he ends up, we call that team, hey, you want Alan Lazard? That's Aaron Rodgers' boy. We'll give him to you for a fifth right now. Good deal. I mean, hey, I'd try that and see if anyone bites. No one should, but maybe. Maybe that's something the Jets can do. I don't know. But again, let's look at the NFL top free agents still available. I'll look at that list. I think all the big, unless I miss something, all the big free agents should still be there. And I mean big like the veteran names of Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs. Let me see. Best free agents available. Here we go. I have NFL.com's list here. Let's take a gander before we open up the phone lines in a minute. Yeah, all the receivers are there. So Amari Cooper is still on the board. So we got Amari, we got Stephon Diggs. That's 2. Let me see, who else do we have here at wide receiver? Cooper Kupp. It sounds like he's about to sign with the potentially the Dallas Cowboys. They're making a big push for him. So keep an eye out for that. He's about to be off the board. Elijah Moore's here at 81. Oh boy. Keenan Allen. Yeah, again, Cooper Kupp, it sounds like he's about to be off the board, and it does not seem like the Jets are in on that. So, yeah, there's a couple of receivers here, and you're running out of guys aced up. Keenan Allen, again, I like the player, and he seems like a good leader and things of that nature. He's always injured, but I'd kick the tires to see how much that is worth. Amari seems like that one would be rich. He is not a guy that I've noticed that is much of a diva in terms of like slamming the table if he's not getting the ball. He seems like a really great route technician, which I think would be good for Garrett to have someone like that in the room. And then Stephon Diggs, there's just potential drama there. He is a very volatile personality, incredibly competitive, and that's good to have, that competitive juices in the room, but there's a lot of extra that comes with Stephon Diggs. If I was to make it, I'd give Amari Cooper a call. See what the money is. The wide receiver veteran market hasn't really developed in that way, step 10. So interesting. But I would definitely I'm signing one and I'm drafting one. I am adding to that room. I want Justin Fields to have all the weapons he needs. I don't want this to be a situation a couple years ago where we're trotting out guys like David Clowney, Jermaine Kearse, Clyde Gates. There's a Jets reference I'm sure you didn't think was coming on the show today. Clyde Gates. I don't want any of that crap. So, yeah, sign Amari Cooper and draft a guy. Let's do that. Sign Amari Cooper and draft a guy. Let me see here. I'm going to keep going, try to catch up on your comments here. All right. Appreciate the comments, questions, super chats, memberships. Keep all those flowing, baby. Chris Olave, bring the band back together. Matthias Simon says, again, the concussion sort of scare me there, but bring all the Ohio State boys. I want Emeka Egbuka in the draft, to be honest with you. That would be wonderful. Another Ohio State boy. Philium, he was talking about Alan Lazard earlier, and now brings him up again. As a 3 or 4, you have to consider keeping Alan Lazard. Cap savings only $6 million, can't replace him for that. And new coach staff may be able to straighten him out. Can always cut post June 1 or trade late. Yeah, again, the trade late Aaron Rodgers situation may be something to consider. And you need something for the now. So if he's hanging around for now, then so be it. Yeah, so not exactly what I had on my bingo card, but may be the reality for the Jets. Lazard is also a penalty machine on top of leading the league in drop percentage penalties. Yeah, he's had some dumb penalties in big moments that have changed games, unfortunately. Yeah, Mason Rudolph to the Steelers. Yeah, there you go. That's a guy. Yeah, there you go, Steelers. We get Justin Fields. You have Mason Rudolph. I like how that ended up. Beautiful. All right, I don't think I missed any other super chats. So let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines, baby. If you'd like to call into the program, now is the time to do so. We've got 300 people in the room. Like the video. Hit subscribe, baby. YouTube. Hit it up. You want to call into the show? You want to flex on them? Feel free to do so. Now is time to get your participation trophy for the day. A quick Hep song and Boy Green Daily continues next.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Bowling Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Bowling Green Daily. Bowling Green Daily. Bowling Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go.
Damn straight, Hep. Here we are, Boy Green Daily on a Friday, baby, March 14th. Several days into free agency, reacting to all the Jets moves, what else could be coming, and so much more, baby, here on the program. If you'd like to call into the show, now is the time to do so. Also, continue to send in your super chats and memberships, baby. And Aced Up 10 got the memo. Super chat coming in.
Wow.
Def Warren at 7, I hope. There you go, of Aced Up 10. By the way, let's add another raffle ticket and change to you, Aced Up 10. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. That is now 96 raffle tickets so far this month. Again, raffle tickets are $2.99 a piece. So that can either be a Boy Green Coffee Club membership or a combination of super chats. Feel free to take advantage of that. I saw we had Penn State Joe in the comment section earlier. He's our resident Penn State squeeze. And yeah, at this point, I would probably take Warren. Now, I get it, positional value. You can make an argument for Armand Membu, who I have in my top 3. Mason Graham, of course, in the top 3. But Warren is just going to help you out a little bit of everything. He gives you a weapon for Justin Fields. I like that. And Daniel Jeremiah, keep bringing this up, has described Tyler Warren as an extra offensive lineman. So surgically attach his ass to the right tackle, and you have a constant chip. And then just when you're running the ball out there, when you're pass protecting, I think it helps out in a lot of ways, Aced Up 10. So Tyler Warren is very, very high on my list. I would absolutely love Tyler Warren. I'd be elated for Tyler Warren, baby. I would be elated. J-Boy says you have to cut Lazard just because he's a Hackett truther. You can't win when you have Hackett guys in the locker room. That's it feels like the equation there. Yeah. J-Boy says, Boy Green, are you ready? Ready for what? Free agency? The weekend? Football? Yes. I'm ready for all those things. Also, everybody, here's a quick shout out just because we're all on the show together. And we'll also get to the phone lines here in a second. If you guys enjoy playing college basketball, you like doing the March Madness action. Again, this is not a Jake Asman raffle or a Madness challenge or anything of that nature. This is purely college basketball. I only join one bracket every year, and it's through my radio station. So you can compete against me and other Jet fans if you'd like. So download the ESPN Tournament Challenge app. I'll also put this in Discord. Just search out this group name, Manchild Madness 2025. Manchild Madness 2025, 2025. That will be the only college basketball tournament I'm in. There might be a chance for you guys to win some prizes. We're putting some of that together ahead of the tournament, but you guys can sign up right now. Obviously, we have no things to pick yet, but you can reserve your spot right now, and that's important because once Selection Sunday comes up, then you'll get a notification to remind you to fill out the bracket. So if we have any college basketball fans out in the audience, you want to compete against me, some radio talent, and other fun Jet fans, make sure you look it up. Again, download the ESPN Tournament Challenge app, and then make sure you look up the group name, Manchild, M-A-N, Child, Madness, M-A-D-N-E-S-S, and then 2025. That is the college basketball tournament challenge app that we will be doing through my radio station. And I hope I see some names. So we're going to be talking about it here on Boy Green Daily, and we're going to be talking about it on the radio. So, for instance, Penn State Joe may want to put his name as that. J-Boy, Jets Afterburners podcast. I'm seeing a bunch of names in here. Make sure you do it because when we bring up wherever your standing is in the tournament, you'll want some pub. If you're a Johnny Boy or something, whatever you are, make sure you put that as your display name so you can get some extra love. And like I said, we'll be talking about it here on Boy Green Daily as well, randomly as we go through March. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Got a couple of calls here. We'll start off with, hey, we just were talking about him. Penn State Joe. It's like the bat signal went out. It's the Penn State signal. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sitting here in a hotel room for work, and as soon as I heard my name, while I was getting ready, I said, let me see if I could get in today.
Yeah, there you go, baby. So, yeah, I'm feeling it. You've talked about it. the way this free agency period has gone, it feels like Tyler Warren should be the guy.
Yeah, I feel good that he is, and I've actually heard some from some friends that back at Penn State that that again, this is like third hand information,
Sure.
but just
Yeah.
just that he felt really good about his conversations with the team, and kind of what their future and how they would use him. So I mean, that's cool to hear, but we know that
Sure.
could be anything.
Of course.
And then that being said, there was one thing about Lazard that and listen, I would cut him immediately, but
Yeah.
if I was going to keep him, the one like beneficial quality that he has is he does block his ass off in the run game.
Yes. Yeah.
And if we're really planning to, running, and we are, right? There's no secret.
No
We're
doubt
gonna run the
about it.
ball
Right.
with Fields
Yeah.
and Hall and everyone. Glenn might see a benefit to having someone like him on the edge.
Yeah, I
as
just
ceiling
hope,
hits.
and again, I think Philia might have said this. I can't remember who, but it's about straightening him out because obviously there is some talent there. And the original story, he got away from it maybe when he got paid, but
Yep.
when he came into the league, he's this know-nothing guy, has to earn his way in. He started out on the Jaguars. Eventually ends up on the Packers. And again, as a know-nothing guy, no big contract or anything, had to work his way up, impressed Aaron Rodgers, joined the Aaron Rodgers Island. Must be a fun place. And then all of a sudden his career took off and he gets this crazy $44 million deal with the New York Jets. And I don't know if he got a little complacent. Maybe it's a little bit of that, a little bit of the Aaron Rodgers injury. And he's like, fuck this. We're going to suck because we don't have Aaron Rodgers. I don't give a shit. I don't know. That's the energy he sort of gave off. And maybe Aaron Glenn can crack the whip. He's a former player. Maybe that he could get down to the brass tacks, get down to a player-to-player level with Lazard and get him out because, obviously he's a player. Obviously the Jets saw something in him beyond just being Aaron Rodgers' buddy, and hopefully he could get back to that.
Yeah, and if we know anything about Glenn, and he truly comes off of that Parcells tree, if Lazard's not falling in line come training camp, he won't be around for the season start, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the cutting him is that detrimental to the cap or anything like that.
Right.
And then back to Warren, I sent you a tweet last night where there's a Landon Tangwell is a former player at Penn State, offensive lineman, who now is getting into the media business. He's a former
cool.
like 5-star, and he's breaking down tons of film. And he just put one clip up last night where Warren takes a defensive end and puts him 15 yards down the field out of the back of the end zone. It's just awesome.
And I love the mentality, right? So when, again, I guess this could be for show. You'd know better knowing Tyler Warren more intimately than I think a lot of us that are seeing it in this secondhand way through this offseason process. Because, when you go on a date, you want to look your best. You want to put on your lipstick. You want to be looking great for the date. And you don't know what the real thing is till you're living with the person. You spend more time. You're like, wait a second, that was a show. You're a liar. You're a phony. It was this. For Tyler Warren at the Combine, what I heard, he did all these media interviews, of course, his presser, podium, and also just a bunch of media hits. And everywhere he went, the people asked about receiving. He's like, yeah, I like receiving. It's this or this. And when anyone brought up blocking, he got a fire in his eyes and went, I fucking love putting people on their ass. And I was like, Jesus, like this guy's a sicko. He should be in a padded room probably, but good Lord. Look at the fire he has. Like he just has this sick pleasure in throwing people in the stands and being a bully bouncer. And that's cool to hear because, boy, our Jets tight ends have struggled to receive the ball and block. I mean, both. To have a guy that could potentially do both and really loves to live in the water of blocking, obviously to be a big piece of the puzzle, especially with the shifting of offensive philosophies here with the Jets. So that's sort of, again, I don't know if he's just saying that because he knows that's the right thing to say that's going to rev people's engine, or that's just real. But the realness feels really cool. Yeah,
he just takes a pleasure in it, and the one thing I worry about for him coming to New York, not to pick on our fan base, but there's definitely a segment of it that's going to go and just if we draft them, they're just going to immediately compare him to Brock Bowers, and they're really two different players. He's not going to catch 100 passes this year, and if he does, great, but. I hope everyone celebrates the benefit that he actually brings to the run game because it's not a sexy pick, right? It's not going to getting, that same segment would probably be happier with Ashton Genty than they would with Tyler Warren because they're just looking for the splash and the name and the explosiveness. And he's the guy that's going to come in there and he's going to earn it 3 downs, and just keep on pushing. And Last night, again, I'm traveling for work. I watched a 98 championship game again.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle Brady, right, was our tight end. And,
Yes.
we picked him instead of Sapp. And even as a kid, I was happy about that. I still remember where I was when they took him. But, in hindsight, you'd rather have Sapp. But if you watch that game, he broke so many holes for the running backs or chipped someone and just gave an extra time for Vinny to throw the ball. Granted, we didn't win the game, but, the benefit that he brought was so undervalued. And then he went down to Jacksonville, and he had a nice little career there. Again, I mean, a lot of Fred Taylor's success is due to Kyle Brady. So hopefully they go and pick him. And, obviously I'm a little stan on that and a homer, but I do believe that I could be even-minded when I say he's the pick. And don't get me wrong, if the defensive tackle from Michigan's there, I would give a ton of thought to that.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Is he going to be there?
I don't know if he's going to be there, and I don't know. Are we deeper? When I look at the defensive tackles, then I look at the tight ends in the draft. I do believe there's a lot of good of both position, but when we could look at tight end, I think once you get past Warren and maybe one or two other players, the ability to block is lost. And these are all receiving tight ends. And when people look at them, they immediately point at their receiving stats and their physical attributes. And that's great and all. You need that. But I think you need that and you need a Warren. So especially in this offense. A defensive tackle, I think you could go down 4, 5, 6 guys in there and get a similar player who doesn't necessarily lose one trait at the expense of another.
I love it. And Penn State Joe, thanks for the call. Everyone's saying outstanding call, Penn State Joe. I love it. And I think there's a lot of layers to it. So first off, the depth from tight end 1, 2, 3 to 4 to defensive 1, 2, 3 to 4. Like Ricky sort of made that point earlier this week about like a Tyleik Williams being available in these mock draft situations at like 42. And you're like, oh, I feel pretty good about that versus what potentially is there at tight end at that point. Are you going to Arroyo, the Miami guy, or what you're potentially doing there? I think is all thing. I just say this. Tyler Warren, if he's the pick, better have thick skin because two things are happening. Yes, what Penn State Joe initially said, Brock Bowers, right? Hey, Brock Bowers, slap on the ass. You better give me some Brock Bowers stuff, which is sort of ridiculous because Brock Bowers just had the greatest single season we've ever seen from a tight end to start a career in NFL history. So that's a high bar. But the other thing is what he said later, Kyle Brady. There's going to be a lot of Jet fans. If the Jets take Tyler Warren and Mason Graham's on the board, that's literally Kyle Brady, Warren Sapp. Hopefully it turns out differently, but if the Jets take Tyler Warren over Mason Graham, get ready for the Kyle Brady, Warren Sapp action, and just be ready in general that some Jet fans, and I know it because of Brock Bowers last year, there are some Jet fans who refuse to even consider Brock Bowers because he's played tight end. No, I'm not taking that position in the first round. Is that prior damage from Kyle Brady? I don't know. Is it just, positional stuff? Mel Kiper is a guy that never wants to take a running back in the first round under any circumstance. I don't know. Different strokes, different folks. But I will just tell you this, Tyler Warren better have thick skin because people are obviously going to compare him to Brock Bowers, fair or unfair. And then number two, they're going to say, Kyle Brady, we got this tight end. What is he going to do? So on both ends of the spectrum, he's going to be getting a lot of shit. So just be ready for that. Good call, Penn State Joe. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Got a couple of calls here. We got Scotty Mayhem here on the program. What's up, Scotty?
First time caller to your show. Hey,
I appreciate that. Thanks, Scotty. Thanks for coming on.
Love your show. Thank you for doing this early in the morning. Gets us revved up.
Yeah, baby.
I loved Penn State Joe's call, except for the reference to Warren Sapp. I've been a fan for 55 years, so I was there for the Dan Marino stupidity, going for Ken O'Brien, and just love reliving those wonderful decisions. But listen, Tyler Warren is no Kyle Brady. And I was screaming for Warren Sapp, but at the end of the day, I would love Tyler Warren. I loved your 3 picks. If any one of those 3 are on the board, that's great. But here's my preference, Boy Green. I'd love to trade back. I know a lot of people are saying, well, you need a trade back partner. But here's the thing. Ashton Genty is going to be like a quarterback for a bunch of teams. I know the Dallas Cowboys are drooling for him. They're not talking a lot about it, but the Cowboys want Genty. So they're a trade partner. Take a look at where they are. It's just a couple of
12
back. I'm fine with that because I still think we get Warren if we go back that far. Maybe not, but I would take the chance. I love Membu. I think that's a plug and play. And I loved your analysis on the New England situation. I mean, I was such a good point. I would like to find out about him because as a right tackle. He was a starter for a couple of years with Pittsburgh Steelers. So, it's just a weird situation. And look, I trust Aaron Glenn. I love him. I think he's going to be a great coach. We don't know, but he's here for the right reasons. He was a Jet, and he wants to be here, which is really important. I think the fans don't give him enough credit for that. Like, this is the place he wanted to be. Like Johnson wanted to be in, Chicago. Glenn wanted to be here. So I trust that those guys are going to, make the right decision. And I think that's an under the radar kind of, selection, and, low cost probably, and a potential, starter or at least a swing tackle. But there's a great article. I don't know if you saw this, and I was trying to find it while I was on in the backstage. I couldn't find it. Maybe one of the readers, one of your, listeners can find it, about Stone Street. I really think this guy is an under the radar pick. I was looking at the stats, and he was one of 4 identified TE1s, not TE2s, TE1s, because of the upside. And they were going over all these stats, which I don't follow, grading him on his limited access. And it basically said he was number 4. They said that he has a real big upside to be a TE1. So I think you should look into that. Because I think that's a super under the radar signing. I think this guy's going to be really good. He's a catcher, a pass catcher. He's not a blocker, like Warren will be. But we need somebody like that. So, those are the few takes I just wanted to throw out.
All right, awesome. Scotty, thanks for the call. First-time caller, hopefully not last time. Feel free to continue to call, my friend. Yeah, Stone Smart, he's an interesting cat, and apparently his middle name is Cole. And I heard from the Badlands group, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Break the glass. Stone Cold. Stone Cold. Yeah, Stone Smart. He's intriguing. We'll see. Again, 26, young, interesting. Okay. 6'4", 226 pounds. Interesting. He's only been playing tight end for a couple of years. Stone Smart. Why not? It's a dart throw. Let's see what happens. But I love that. All right. Let's jump over back to the phone lines once again. Again, great call. Hopefully you call back. Let's go to an OG. Who has punched he gets Chase Blue points every time he calls. That's easy. Our resident OC.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, sir.
Well, yesterday somebody was throwing me some shade over my suggestion of maybe we could go for a center and slide those other 2 guys over. And what did the Jets do? They went for a center, and they're talking about sliding the other 2 guys over to the right. I mean,
easy, you're a prophet, pal. Whoa. Yeah.
I got the thing on the steering wheel.
Oh, wow. This is crazy. This is the most trippy thing I've ever seen. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, kaleidoscope. And so, I feel a little bit of indication, either that or I'm as stupid as our coaching staff, one or the other.
Yeah, we'll see if they are. There's a lot of rumors and whispers about it, so we'll see what they're doing.
One other point. I mean, just because you need a right tackle, usually the better tackle on teams, if you have a right-handed quarterback, is going to be the left tackle for the blind side.
Correct.
All right.
Yep.
Aren't there some maybe decent left tackles that we could throw at right tackle too?
In free agency or the draft or what?
In the draft.
Yeah. A lot of the questions from draft analysts, again, we'll have to ask this question to Dom C, is a lot of the tackle prospects are kicking into guard because of trait deficiencies like arm length and things of that nature. So there's lacking true tackles in this class based on those projections, but not everyone is right. Will Campbell might say, F you guys, I don't care what my arm length is. I don't care if I'd have the shortest wingspan of any offensive lineman in NFL history. I want to play tackle. So maybe someone still can. But no, of course, that's always a possibility.
Well, it's always about speed and agility, too, because as long as you can beat those edge rushers to the outside edge and still get your hands on them, as long as your arms are longer than the edge rusher's arms, that's the main thing. I know they want you to have these really long arms to keep them pushed off really far, but you got to work with what you got, too.
Well, yeah, that's true, too. These pass rushers, though, are coming from another planet. A lot of them have incredibly long arms, which makes it even more challenging for some of these shorter-armed offensive linemen. It doesn't make it impossible. It makes it more difficult, though.
Yeah, I posted something on the TV, not on TV, just what the hell am I talking about? On the phone yesterday, and I got a response from Alan Lazard. If it was truly Alan Lazard, but because I think it was. Because I looked up in the thing and there was some stuff that looked like Lazardy, He had some pictures of training camp, which were not, readily available. So they were like personal things. But I told him him and Sauce needed to get on the jugs machine.
What did he say?
I don't know if he responded yet. I don't think he will.
Okay, all right, but I like that.
I told him he's too good of a receiver to have as many drops as he's got. He's a pro athlete and he's got to work on his craft. So I told him point blank.
I'm glad that you investigated it to make sure it was Lazardy enough to say, yeah, this pass is the sniff.
Well, if it was, it was. If it wasn't, it wasn't. But free agency this year has been kind of meh. Couple of good guys. Most of it's kind of like, let's see if we can coach these dudes up kind of players. But I can see why they don't want to go for the splash, because it doesn't seem to have worked the past 14 years. So if it's broke, you fix it. If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. And it was broken. They didn't even try to fix it. They just kept doing the same stupid shit over and over again. And, there was a point to what Sean Payton said, the Jets like to win the offseason. But, it's better to win in season. So hopefully this will work. I think our coaching staff is way better than it was. I mean, I think Saleh was a great coach. I think Ulbrich was a good coach. I just think they were both fish out of water in their positions. And the rest of the coaching staff was kind of eh.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But who's our new offensive line coach, and how is he rated? And then I'll let someone else come on the phone. But I'd like to know about the O-line coach.
All right, appreciate the call, EC. Unique as always. Steve Hayden is the Jets' new offensive line coach. Previously a tight end coach. He had been an assistant offensive line coach with the Cardinals, a longtime former player. So Steve Hayden is the offensive line coach. Yes. Well, he's got to be better than Keith Carter by default. I think that's pretty clear. How much better? I guess we'll see. But yes. And to Jared B's point, he's never been a straight-up offensive line coach running the whole department. He has been an assistant offensive line coach, so he's been in the room. He's not been a full-time guy, so take that for what you will. But yeah, again, it's sort of the risk like all these other things. Like these dart throws are taken in these bargain bin shopping spree the Jets are doing right now in free agency. That's obviously part of the equation. And when these coaches are in positions they haven't been before, Tanner Engstrand, is he going to be a good offensive coordinator? Zoink, Scoob, I don't know. Ooh, ruh-roh, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. We haven't seen him yet. He will be judged on the results. Is Steve Hayden a great offensive line coach? I guess we'll see. I don't know. I think it's important in this business to have takes, have conviction, say something you believe. I think it's important, very important. But I think it's also important to reserve energy. If you don't have a take, say nothing. You don't have to have a take. That's why I tell my interns all the time at the radio station, because they do these bits where they come on the show on our airwaves and they ask us questions and stuff. And I tell them, hey, if you have a hot topic and you want to comment on it before you go to the next one, feel free, but don't just talk to talk. If you got something compelling to say, please, by all means, share it with our audience. But if you don't just bullshit, because you want to know something? We could smell bullshit. So try to avoid that, pal. That's an important piece of the puzzle. All right, let's go to the phone lines here. Hep Legend is here on the program. What's up, Hep?
Hey, Paul. Hey, fellas. Hey, I'm curious. When Glenn came in the building, did he bring new trainers with him? Do we have a new, to help with the injury?
Yes. So I know one guy they got rid of, Nicolini, was the strength and conditioning coach. He was the tatted up guy with the backwards hat that held back Saleh on the sidelines. He was their strength and conditioning coach. They ditched him like immediately when AG came in. So yes, we'll see what it ends up being for their sports science department, the sports science analytical part. I don't know what they're going to end up doing with that part. It looks like everyone, the last time I checked, and that was like 2 weeks ago, that full staff was still on the Jets website, which would indicate that they have survived the Glenn transition. But yeah, strength and conditioning looks like it's a brand new operation.
All right, let's hope for that. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, amen. Appreciate the call, Hep. Yeah, we can only hope that it's good. But yes, as soon as they came in, Nicolini was adios, hasta luego. He was gone, so. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Johnny Boy's here on the program. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, what up, boy Green? Hey, man, I love Easy, bro. That guy is awesome, man. I'm about to use that. You trying to get Lazardi this weekend?
Well, yeah, I know. Now it's in the vernacular. Lazardi attaching his phone to the steering wheel and going wee and spinning us all around. I was getting dizzy. Yeah, that was one of a kind. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you in regards to the whole Titman thing.
Yeah.
Right. About let's move them around. Let's play musical chairs again with the line and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't had a line that's gelled together in a long time, right?
Yeah, AFC Championship game would probably be that last really, really solid. Again, I don't mean any disrespect to what Brick and Mangold were doing, but even though they were part of that too, yeah. But that was probably the most cohesive, results-oriented thing they got, which probably the championship year. So yeah, Brick and Mangold and all the old guys, yeah.
So we get this guy Myers, and then all of a sudden Myers is going to be the one to essentially replace Titman as center, and we shoot him on over. I don't see that. I can't see that happening. I think it's a death piece in regards to that, and there is no centers in this upcoming draft. This is one of the drafts where they say the linemen, the offensive linemen at least, are not as deep as it was in the previous draft years. So keep Olu where he's at. Keep Simpson where he's at. Keep Titman, AVT. Get yourself the right tackle. I mean, there's some stuff out there. Maybe the Wills. I don't know. Maybe this kid Okafor and all that. I remember I think what was it before he became a Patriot? He was one of the names that we were looking at.
100%. He was a solid Steeler. Again, this is no joke. Look it up, people. He was their full-time starting right tackle for 3 or 4 seasons in a row, and they're the Steelers. So yeah, he was a solid player.
I have to say that, I know it's not a popular thing amongst right now with the fans itself, but I really like what Muji and Glenn have been doing so far. Getting a lot of these guys that have a lot of upside to them that could potentially be something for us, because I mean, let's be honest, right? I don't think any of us are thinking playoffs or Super Bowl this upcoming season, but I'm thinking a winning season and a potential. I think that's a big possibility that we would be able to do. And the other thing too, a lot of the guys that they're getting rid of, like for example, Echols, right? The biggest thing when Glenn came over, he was talking about is switching the culture itself and getting a lot of these guys that unfortunately were mid and whatnot to get up. Now I love Brandon Echols.
Me too.
I was one of the guys that wanted Echols, but I also see what they're doing too. We've lost for so long, so much with this stuff like that. Guys have been beaten down. They need to go somewhere else and possibly, be able to go ahead and revive their whole career. I don't know, but I like what they're doing, and
okay.
I think it was Phil who said, like, we just got to be positive with it and we got to be patient.
Yes.
Time.
Let's put that into the universe. Yeah.
It's the truth. And I'm with it. I think we've held a lot of players that are Jet guys, right, in our Jet standard up here for so long that if we get somebody that's somewhat okay, we're like, it's the best thing since Curtis Martin type of stuff like that. And I think that mentality needs to change. We need to call a spade and let it be for what it is, right? And continue to keep moving forward. I saw something yesterday and everything. They were kind of breaking down film on Justin Fields.
Yep.
And stuff, right? And when I saw that, I was like, he was leaving a lot of guys open and everything. But then I also go back. Well, didn't Aaron do the same thing?
Yeah, 100% did the same thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how many times was Garrett Wilson open on a constant, but they were he wanted it more to force feed it into Devontae. So I don't know. Again, it is what it is. I understand that Aaron was the caliber Hall of Famer and all that, but he wasn't that with us here. He's gone. It is what it is. It's over. It's Justin Fields time, baby. And I'm probably copping that jersey, man. Like,
I am too. I'm waiting to see what jersey number he ends up getting. But yeah, I'd love to represent Justin Fields. He's an easy guy to root for.
100%. The New York Buckeyes, they're calling them now.
There you go. Let's go.
So,
hey, you know.
I mean, the biggest thing that you could hope for too is Ruck becomes Ruck, and, you know, and to see what it is, because
it's his last shot.
I don't think that coaching staff knew how to use anybody, man.
Maybe it's on them. Yeah.
So I don't know, but I wanted to come up here and talk in regards about that itself and all that. And hey, man, make sure you're Lazarding this. What is it, Lazardi?
Yeah, Lazardi. I'm never gonna forget that. Thanks for the call, Johnny boy. Easy says, you know, I reached out down Lazard. I was pretty sure it was him, but it might not be. But it looked very Lazardi, quote unquote. It was pictures are not readily available. Easy said. That checks out to me as an investigative reporter. Yeah, is it Lazardi? Yeah. He's in. I love that. Yeah, a couple of things, Johnny boy. I'll just say this. He said, Johnny boy said, you know, I don't think any Jet fans are thinking Super Bowl this, that, or the other. This is what I'll say about that. Last year and the year before, I was fully on board, dead ass serious. I want a Super Bowl. I think we could do it. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers got this team. That combination, I think we can make some noise. This year, you know, I'm not slamming. You have that Super Bowl ring up here, this Jets replica Super Bowl ring up in this camera over here. I'm not slamming it saying we're going to be the number one seed, move over everybody. I'm not saying that. But in a league where you have 32 teams in the National Football League, you have 16 in the NFC, 16 in the AFC, 7 of the 16 make the playoffs. You're telling me that we can't make this thing? Let's see what happens. I don't know. There's so much left untapped. What's happening in the draft? There's more free agency. There's still some names out there. The trade market, what's going to happen there? There's so much to figure out. Injuries happen. All kinds of crazy crap happens. I'm not writing off this season saying we're winning 4 games. I'm not turning around predicting the opposite and saying full oppo, hey, we're winning the Super Bowl. Let's see how it plays out. That's what I would say. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Got Ricky New York here on the show. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, what's happening, Paul?
Hey, what's going on?
I believe Johnny said something about call a spade a spade.
Yes.
So here I am to do just that.
Oh,
first of all, Easy reached out to Lazard. Like, what was so Lazardy about it? Like, how did he determine that? Like, how do you know it was really Lazard? Did your phone keep dropping the call?
That would have been very Lazardi. That would have been very on brand.
That would have been very Lazardi.
Yes.
Second of all, okay, we all love Garrett Wilson, not just because he's a great player, but because he's a great guy, a great character guy.
Yeah.
Same reason we love the Williams brothers. You know, Quincy with his enthusiasm and Quentin with that smile. However,
oh boy.
Not everybody on your team needs to be a Boy Scout. And I think that good guy philosophy of Saleh's came back to bite him when it comes to guys like Warren and Mitchell and I'm just gonna flat out say it. Our backup offensive linemen, we brought in a bunch of pussies. That's
okay. Well,
all there is to it. You know, dude, your offensive linemen need to be nasty. Like they need to have that nasty attitude to them. And you know, why is it that every other team in the league could plug in backup offensive linemen and be okay, but when we did it, things just completely came apart. It wasn't that we didn't have the depth. We just didn't have the right depth. And so now the kid that we signed, the center, dude, we signed him for backup. We signed him for backup money. Okay. He's not taking Tippmann's job. We're not shuffling people all over the place. Forget that, you know, okay. There's a lot to be said for continuity. And, you know what? If there's one thing that I could trust with Aaron Glenn, it's, you know, him bringing in the right type of guys. And as far as what Johnny was saying about Eccles, like, I don't think we got rid of Eccles. I think Eccles got rid of us. He was a free agent. He didn't have to come back here.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, man, after a bunch of losing here, like, I guarantee you there were not everyone is Jamie and Sherwood. Like, not everybody wants to come back. There were guys that probably couldn't wait for the door to open up. DJ Reed, Brandon Eccles, ironically, a bunch of secondary guys, but I've got faith in Glenn. I like the Cisco signing. I like some of these depth signings along the O-line, and when the draft gets here, and there are still some names out there. I don't think we're done yet, but I mean, like I said, this free agency is as far as free agency goes, has just been kind of lackluster compared to other years. And, I don't know.
That's fair enough. It has been, Ricky. It's been underwhelming. The names were underwhelming as an overall whole because a lot of guys got blocked. Trey Smith, I'm trying to think of every. Nick Bolton didn't make it. There's a lot of big time players who are at the top of the market that never made it to the T. Higgins. So many that did not make it to the open market. So that's 100% accurate. Here we got 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. We'll squeeze in a couple more calls before I got to run to the radio station here. Let's go. We've got the number one gifter so far this month that's taken Boy Green Daily by the balls. That is Aged Up 10, baby, here on the program. What's up, pal?
Hey, what up, PG?
Hey, what's poppin'?
How you doing, buddy?
Excellent, and thanks for all the support, man, this month. It's been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. Of course, man. I love the show, man. You guys are dope, man. All your guests and stuff, and Woody and all that. I watch everything. Even if I don't watch it live, I'll watch it,
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I got faith in Glenn, and I don't know. The aura that they're sending out is like, I'm feeling it, man. I'm starting to feel it, starting to grow on me.
The energy, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to it. I mean, nothing could be worse than the hype from last year to what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was like the worst in franchise history, probably. Like the biggest hype to the biggest
disappointment. There's no question. Yep.
And it can't be any worse than that. And it
That's
feels like Fields is young, and if he produces, shit. Even if he plays like how Mark Sanchez did in 2010, and just kind of manages the team, dips and dunks, lets his guys make plays out of short passes. I think who knows, man. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but who knows? The AFC's tough. Patriots are building. Seems like they're building their defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And AFC's tough. Always Buffalo. Miami's like up and down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. There's a chance. You never know. 9-8, 10-7, dip into the playoffs. You never know.
Let's go. Give me some of that action. Aged Up 10. Hell yeah. Damn straight. I love it. Thanks for the call, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, man. Sign me up. Again, we haven't won over 8 games since 2015. Think about that. We have not won 8 games or more since 2015. That was 10 years ago. For the love of God. Jesus. Like, let's go, man. Let's get some winning. And 9-8 would work for me. Sign me up. I'm going to be building a gosh darn statue for 9-8. God, it's been so damn long. I barely even remember what winning even looks like. Please remind me, New York Jets. Hey, look at this. We got a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, baby, for Lily and Big D. And with the baby here, the 5 new members to Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to Floyd, Lily, and Big D with 5 raffle tickets. That's Jason Weber, or Weber, Spin to Ben, Nick Caps, Sco, Billy Milanovic, a.k.a. BAM Collectibles, all getting raffle ticket, or all getting memberships, for Lily is the one with the raffle tickets here, and that is now 31 raffle tickets so far for Lily and Big D this month, which is the third most of any fan so far this month. We appreciate that, Fleur Lily. Thanks for the support. And again, by the way, everybody, let me give you a quick flip. This is what you guys are competing for this month. Again, one lucky person will win all of these prizes. There's that New York Jets patched out pullover hoodie. It's awesome. I'm going to buy one of those for myself, for Pete's sake. Super Bowl prize pack, multiple unique items from past Super Bowls, and a custom laser engraving Jets Boy Green gift package. One lucky person will be getting all of those items, baby. Let's go. And look at this, our number one Austrian Jet fan, baby. Hey, now, let's get one of these in. That is 66 raffle tickets so far this month for our number one Austrian Jet fan, and that membership just went to Joey Bad. Whoever you are, Joey Bad, you just got a membership from our guy Austrian, which is absolutely beautiful. And again, 66 raffle tickets for Austrian. He is second place for our gifters so far this month. Appreciate it. We've got more calls to get to, including Hep coming back here on the show. What's up, Hep?
Quick idea. Just run it
Okay.
by you. Okay,
All
we're at the game, right?
Yes.
Okay, we get a minister there. We
Oh,
bring the fiance down. We do the wedding. We get the Jake Asman. We get everybody there. We do the massive wedding. But you do the real wedding too. Because you want to have the family.
Of course.
But
But ceremonial speaking.
Ceremonial thing. That would be epic.
All right. Hep, I'm going to pitch that to my fiance, and if I have a Boy Green Daily show tomorrow, I survived. So,
okay.
let's
All
hope.
right, Paul.
I love it. That's a good idea. We'll see. I think that's a superb idea. Maybe the greatest idea I've ever heard. Will my fiance feel the same way? Tune in tomorrow. Boy Green Daily, I guess. I don't know. Ace Up 10 with a massive super chat coming through, baby. 1999. Hey now, baby.
Wow.
Greatest show, BG. Much props. Appreciate you, Ace Up 10. That means the world. All the support for the show has been awesome. So yeah, it's amazing. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I enjoy doing this. I absolutely do. So we'll update your banner in a second, Ace Up 10. We appreciate that. All right, let's keep this train rolling here. Wait a second. We've got. Let me get this on. FL Phil 98 gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Don't want to leave you people out, baby. All right, let's see. That membership went to Gingervitis. Salute to Jake Asman. Beautiful. FL Phil 98, a.k.a. Philium. Getting it going, baby. That is 4 raffle tickets for our boy FL Phil 98 so far this month. Thanks, Philium. Appreciate you. All right, let's get one more call in or 2 more calls. We'll see how many calls we could get in. A couple of people calling in. June the GM is back up. What's up, June?
Hey, Paul, have you noticed that my thing ain't lit up with green?
I saw that. Yeah, what's going on there?
I had to do a brand new page.
Oh, no.
I'm trying to get this live stream going, spend over $150. Ain't work. I've been on a journey. I think I got to figure it out now.
Oh,
so
okay.
I
appreciate that. Yeah, I saw that in there. I'm like, what happened?
That's a whole different page.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
I did want to say that, as Jet fans, it's okay not to like what we do, man. I'm here looking at the signings, and I'm not gonna lie. You can't serve me. You can't make me a TV dinner and then act like you took time in the kitchen. Okay, I don't like the signings, but these ain't even average dudes. These are below average dudes. These are dudes who arguably shouldn't even be in the league. Probably.
Wow.
He should be in the XFL or something crazy.
Oh, good lord!
Like that guy they signed from Weaver.
Yeah, Rashad Weaver. Yeah, he wasn't really even in the league.
Come on, man. I mean, listen. I'm not trying to be negative. I've been high.
Okay.
For over 45 years, every year we're winning the Super Bowl. I could bring my wife in here. She won't want to be on camera, but she'll tell you every year I'm gassed up. Dude, we're doing it. This is the first year that honestly, I'm not doing that. I'm done with the bullshit. I'm not going to be, we're looking good. But think about how defeated as fans we are, Paul, that we're here saying, I heard Johnny Boy say, yeah, because, we're not going to do anything this year. Damn. That's what our organization's doing to us, that we're going into the year not even feeling hopeful. That's messed up, man. The organization got to do better. And to sit there, I love Ricky New York. That's my boy, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But to sit there and say this free agency class was underwhelming, I don't tell Minnesota that. Go to the Vikings and it was under the Vikings stacked up. They look like the best team in football aside from the quarterback position. You know, there was dudes out there we could have got. We could have got Allen on the defensive line and put him next to Williams. We could have done that. Oh no, we want to get Weaver. He's gonna be the shows. What Aaron Glenn is doing is putting so much pressure on himself to coach up below average talent to do what he's going to do. He's going to bring their game level up so high that they're going to be pro. But this is crazy. This is the most underwhelming free agency we've ever handled. Joe Douglas would have, and say what you want, Joe Douglas struck out a lot, but he also hit a lot.
I will say two things. I think there's a double dip of pressure. It is the pressure you just said. Aaron Glenn's got to coach up these no-names to something, and then we're like, oh, wow, he's a great coach. Or Darren Mucci, we're a month away from the draft. That's a lot of pressure on Darren Mucci to replace all these big, massive void holes on the roster saying, yo, Mooch, if you're not going to sign him for agency, fine. But then you got to find these holes in the draft, which is always difficult. We're talking about that random story here in Syracuse. They keep telling me all these high school recruits are coming in. I'm like, high schoolers are going to save the day here in town? Like, come on now. That's not realistic. So for the draft, all these rookies are going to be coming in, filling in massive voids and being these guys. That's a lot of pressure because that ain't easy.
The thing, Paul. Aside from the first or second round draft pick, right?
Yeah.
Third rounders, fourth rounders, fifth rounders, they're not really looked at as having to be impact players year one. But we have put ourselves in a position where he better hit on at least the first 4 draft picks. We need a starting defensive tackle who's going to go crazy. We need a freaking tight end who's supposed to be crazy. You know, we got a lot of holes, man. We got holes on this lineup. So I don't know. I'm not excited. I'm not going to go out there and say, you know, I'm a Jet fan regardless if we go 0-17. I'll be here right next year. God bless us with life and health. I ain't going nowhere. I'm a thoroughbred fan, okay? Never liked the 49ers a little bit, then came back. No. I've been here since day one. But let's not sit here, nobody, and act like we're okay. You know, I still got hope. I see what they're doing because I don't see what they're doing. I don't see jack, nothing but suspect free agents being picked up with the hopes of turning them into something. Can they? Only time will tell, but I'm not excited about it, straight up.
By the way, June, have you volunteered your minister services for a potential future?
Well, by the way, I am an ordained minister.
Wow.
I have preached the gospel. So, you know, I'm a man of God. You know that. We spoke about that briefly. So, if you want to do the ceremony, but I'm going to tell you now, I wouldn't run that by the wife. I don't think she's going to like that idea.
I don't think so at all. I'm going to be honest.
Maybe married at the game. Yeah, okay.
I don't know if she's going to go for it, but you know what? For Hep, because he's such a valued member of this community, I will attempt to throw that over to my fiance. If she bites my head off, then, well, this has been a great run on Boy Green Daily, and God bless whoever takes over.
You're engaged?
Yes, we've been engaged for like 1,000 years. We got engaged somewhere before COVID, and then COVID stopped our initial plans, and then we have kids, so everything just kind of all spun out of control. So it's on the docket at some point in the future, but yeah, maybe to Hep's point, we just bang it out at a Jets game.
Paul,
yeah,
sure. One of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself and she can give herself is marriage, because when you come to God, as you know, not to get too religious, but I feel led to tell you this.
Sure.
When I pray to God, I come on behalf of me and my wife. And when you pray with your wife as a child of God, good things happen, new doors of opportunity open. So don't drag your feet too long. Tie the knot, baby. Yeah. Get it done. That's it.
Amen. Thank you, June, for the call. Powerful and beautiful as always. I appreciate that. So yeah, we'll see. Hep, I will attempt. I don't know what's going to happen there with the results. And look at this, Penn State Joe, baby, is officially a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. I'm up. Well, way to go, Penn State Joe, officially a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. You've had great calls on the show. You've been a valued member and now officially a part of the family. We love it. And, of course, that buys you a raffle ticket. On top of your loyalty and membership to the bloodline over here, you also have a raffle ticket for this month's contest. So thanks, Penn State Joe. Appreciate you, pal. Let's squeeze in one last call here. MJ here on the show. What's up, MJ?
Hey, Paul. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday.
Yeah, man. I wanted to bring up a point that I think the Jets fan should realize. Okay. I mean, I'm a Jet fan. I'm also a Cowboy fan, but the pick of Justin Fields really gives them flexibility.
Yeah.
Because if they had not taken him, they would be relegated. They'd be forced to taking a quarterback or addressing the quarterback in the draft. Now, see what they did. If you compare what they're doing to what Atlanta did last year.
Oh, right. Sure.
Atlanta signed Cousins to that huge contract, and then they get Michael Penix, who's actually a better fucking player. And so now, and they spent all that money, and now he lost his job. So now with Justin Fields, now it's not chump change. You're paying him a good amount of money, but it's nothing near a starting quarterback salary.
Correct.
So if he doesn't pan out, or let's say that Shedeur Sanders falls to 7, if it's possible, and if they like Shedeur Sanders, or if they like Jackson Dart, or if they somebody that picks their interest, they can take him in later rounds too, or subsequent rounds, and they always have him as a fallback. And actually, he split time with Russell Wilson. People don't realize he was 4-1 at the first 5 games. They played the Cowboys at home with Dak Prescott. They lost to the Cowboys. One of the Cowboys' best games last year.
Correct. Yeah.
And after that, he lost the starting spot. He was 4-2. So he's not a bad quarterback. He brings a lot of dimensions. I mean, they say he's a poor man's. Who's the quarterback for Philly?
Lamar. Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
Jalen Hurts. Now, and to be honest with you, I think he might have a stronger arm. And the guy has a rocket, but it's just he hasn't been able to connect. I don't know if it's accuracy or whatever it is. Maybe the OC can train him, can mold him into becoming a better quarterback. One other thing, Colin Cowherd. I don't know if you watch this guy. I mean, he's got some decent points.
Yeah.
He's got decent points, but he says this crazy shit. He'll say, I mean, it's like, does he not realize that teams have offensive coordinators and they have offensive staffs? Because he says the Jets got a defensive coach. They need an offensive coach because they have no quarterback. And I'm like, dude, you're missing the bus, man. I mean, yeah, he's a defensive coach, but he's got a staff. He's got an offensive coordinator. He's got people that coach. He's got a quarterback coach. So why would he be as ludicrous as just being that simplistic about saying, oh, he's a defensive coach? You're talking about the head coach? The head coach coaches the coaches, by the way. The head coach doesn't. I mean, there are exceptions like with Shanahan and with McVay, guys like that. But they have coordinators and they train the coordinators, and the coordinators then relay that to the players. I don't know. What do you think about that? That's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
He gets away with it. No one calls him out on it.
They do not on Jalyn Cowherd, and I'll have to share that take at a different point. Unfortunately, I am just out of time. Have to run to the radio station, MJ. But thanks for the call. Thanks for everybody. 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe for the people that watch after the fact. We appreciate that as well. I'm desperately late. Got to run to the radio show, but thanks everybody for tuning in. Fun show, and again, shout out to my fiance. Thanks for the G-Dub jersey and the new hat. God bless. You're the best. Peace out, everybody.